Alright, welcome back to Flight Sim 2024 and welcome back to the Neofly series. This is episode 63. We're parked on the ramp at Livingstone where we landed in the previous episode in our BAE 146 QT, so it's the cargo version of the 146. We were actually trying to get to Victoria Falls, but we were diverted to... Where were we diverted to? I can't actually remember. To Kasane, and then we couldn't land there because there were no lights and it was dark, so we ended up here in Livingstone, which is actually very close to Vic Falls. But today, for our flight, we have a 2.5 hour trip down to Maseru in Lesotho. So that is the plan for today's Neofly flight. We've got some... what is it? It's like time sensitive cargo, so we actually need to hurry up and get going. So let's do just that. Let's go and jump aboard. So I've done the SimBrief flight plan. I'm using Axis Sky for the weather, and I have Beyond ATC for our air traffic control. And we're going to be using GSX to do all of the loading. So this is all opened up. Let's get these. I'm actually going to need hydraulic power to do this. Let's get the batteries on. We're on the ground power, obviously. And let's do not engine pumps. We want... I just need to move my view a bit. We need this. And we need those. And now we should be able to open our cargo doors. Right, then if I go back here... There's our SimBrief flight plan, so Livingstone to Maseru. And if I go here, we can import that. That's going to be realistic. And we want to board using GSX. Right, let's come up here then. Okay, that's good. Let's do refueling.
Refueling truck is on its way.
Okay, and I think we'll request boarding as well. And they can start loading up. Right, while that's happening, we will go ahead and sort out the aircraft. Okay, let's come up top here and we can start getting all of these switched on.
Fuel truck is in position.
Okay, then we can actually switch these off now. Okay, those need to come on. That's fine for now. Logo lights we can get on, I guess. It's still early morning. We can arm those. That's all fine. Nav lights can come on. That's all fine for now as well. We'll fire up the APU once the fueling is done. Okay, we can turn this on so long we'll get the APU generator on for when we start it. And that's cool for now. Let's arm these. And no, I don't want to turn that on. That was a mistake. Okay, cool. Then we're going to go ahead. How do I get rid of this again? Oh, that's the tablet. It's this one. There we go. Then we're going to go ahead and start sorting out our flight plan. Okay, let's go back here, and if we go to our OFP and we go here, so we are Alpha 2 November Alpha November again. Livingstone to Mashushu. Zero fuel weight 34.5 tons, taking off 42.3 tons, landing 37.3 tons. We're expecting about 2 hours flight time, 754 nautical miles. 2.2 reserves. Cost index is 0. Expecting, oh, we've got just under 8 tons of fuel. Expecting runway 10 for departure and 04 for landing. Our departure is going to be Getog 1 Alpha, and our arrival is vectored because this NIVEX, that's going into our Tambo, which is our alternate, so that's chilled. Okay. Oh, we need to update. Can I actually update that through here? I've never tried. I don't think you can. No. Okay, but I think we should be all right. Let's see. Now I got to remember how to use this guy. So let's go to flight plan. Now, is there a way to load the SimBrief plan? There is. Cool. Okay, that's really easy. If I go back here, right, let's go and do departure. We'll put this on standby as well while we're down here. Okay, so we're expecting to depart runway 10. In fact, before we set this up, let's call beyond ATC and just get our actual departure. Okay, refueling is completed, so that's cool. We're going to call tower 118.1. So we want 118.1. And we'll flip that over. And while I'm here, the next one will be departure 124.4. So we might as well dial that in on this side as well. Cool. I buggered that up. Oh, that's interesting. So we'll have to use this side. Aha. Then there's probably a setting in here. Okay, there's no setting here. I'm just dumb. And if you turn it slowly, you can do it in increments of 0.005. Okay, so that said, now we can call up Livingstone Tower. Livingstone Tower, good morning. Alpha 2, November, Alpha November. IFR to Mashushu, ready to copy. Okay, we can set that. QNH today is 21.
Alpha 2 November, Alpha November, Livingstone Tower. Information, my current cleared to Masheshin I. Runway 10 after departure. Radar vectors, Victoria Falls. Climb to flight level 0900, squawk 0642.
Clear to Mashushu is filed. Information, Mike. Runway 10 for departure. Radar vectors to Victoria Falls. Initial climb flight level 090, squawk 0642, November Alpha November. Okay, so much for our SID.
Alpha
we're just going
November,
vectors.
November. Read back correct. Call me back when ready for pushback or engine start.
Call you back, November Alpha November. Okay, so it is going to be runway 10. Oh, actually, before I carry on with this, let's sort this out. So this should be on standby, which it is. And we were 0642. Cool. Sorted. Let's put in 9,000 before we forget. We can't arm that because we need flight directors. And then we'll just do heading mode, which is here. And we'll roughly line that up with runway 10, which is about there somewhere. And we'll double check that on the runway. Cool. These are orange, but they're going up because loading is still happening. Perfect. Okay. Then we have no SID, so we just leave that. And we're going to get vectors to Vic Falls, so in fact, we can take this out. What on earth did I just do? That's what I wanted. Okay. What else do we need to do here? Okay, that is updating. That's wrong. Wow, that's a bit less than I expected to get. I'm gonna try this again and see what happens. I've never done that before. Yeah, we should be at 8 tons. We're less than 7.5. That's not great. Okay, that's fuel. Trying to remember what this data thing does. Okay, so we've done depart. I think that's all we need to do, really. Performance. We don't fill in anything here, so I think that's really it. I guess we can put in that we're expecting runway 04. There is no star, so that's all we get. Okay, I don't know what's going to happen with that fueling thing. That's going to be interesting. So I'm going to hold off on the APU until we can actually sort out the fueling. Okay, I said earlier QNH is 102 or 1. So let's get that in as well. Okay, that's sorted. Okay, then this we would flip over to RNAV so we can follow our FMS. Is that the fueling truck? Okay, temperature here this morning, 9 degrees. So if we put this on 25, we'll be very chilled. Right, then just for safety, let's go here and get Vic Falls 116.7 and we'll dial that in here. We're picking that up already at 16 miles. Okay, then we're just waiting for them to finish loading everything up, I guess. Those are all failures. It's just weird that I can't put in my own value here. Oh, that's not what I wanted. Just resets. Let's go check in Neofly. Do I have this on? Fuel sync? No. Anyway, this is our route, by the way. There we are at Livingstone. And we need to get down there to Mashushu in Lesotho. And we have 3 hours and 7 minutes to get there. We're planning to do it in just over 2, so should be fine. Okay, once GSX up to boarding is complete, hopefully our fuel truck arrives again so we can actually load up the fuel that we need. There's no door here, is there? I don't think so. I think this is just totally sealed. Okay, so that's aborted. I want to see if that was causing this to stay at that value. Oh. That's what I'm supposed to do. Put the values in there. And then hit refuel and it fuels it up to that, to the right number there. So why can I type in here? Okay, well, we can close these up. No, we can't. Because we need these. Yo, 9 minutes. That seems quite long to put in 600 kgs. So that's weird. It seems GSX didn't fill up the center tank. How do I change this? Okay, I think we need to get moving. So even though we're still fueling, I'm gonna fire up the APU. Okay, this is all set. We can click this in after we've started the engines. Okay, we're going up to 29,000 today, according to SimBrief. Right, then I think we are good. So it's just that fueling that we're waiting for, which is going to be another 6 minutes or so, yeah. Okay, APU is up and running. We're on the APU. Let's switch off external power. So we're on the APU completely now. Then we can disconnect the GPU. Okay, we'll close everything up. Okay, 5 minutes to go. Let's quickly have a look at our taxi chart and we can see what they are most likely to give us. If we can have charts. Okay, we now have charts. Let's go here. Let's go departure and taxi. Okay, so we're over here. 10, so we're going to taxi straight on there, backtrack, and then depart. Super simple. Heading is 101, so we're actually really close. Okay, it'll be flaps 18 for departure. I don't think our weight's going to change all that much. It's going to be 0.2. We are 43, so we're going to stay at 44. If I can just get my views to the right place, which means we can set our speeds based on this. So we're rotating at 139, V2 144. Okay, so this barrow, I think we only set that for landing. I'm actually not 100% sure on that. But it wouldn't really make sense to set that for cruise. So we set that when we land, I believe. Okay, cabin temperature, what are we looking at here? So that's 10, 15, 16, 17, 18 degrees in here. So it's actually quite cool. So let's see, if I get the packs on, is it gonna sort that out? Because we have this on auto. Auto is at the bottom. Does that mean... It's definitely going up. Okay, this must be almost done. 95%, 96%. Right, let's ask GSX to get ready for pushback.
Hello, Captain. We are ready for pushback.
And Alpha 2, November, Alpha November, ready for push and start.
Alpha 2 November, Alpha November, Livingstone Tower, pushback and engine start approved. Face east.
Dispatcher checks completed.
Push and start approved, face east. November, Alpha November. Okay, we need beacon lights. And we need this.
Locking gear.
So to face east, we want nose left. So now we're just waiting for GSX to be ready to go. Our wing walkers are in position. And the tug is lifting us up now. Okay, nose left.
Release parking brakes, please.
Brakes are released.
All engines clear. Start at will.
That's worrying. That's even more worrying. I did say nose left. Oh, that's what I've messed up. That's why it's making sad noises. Okay, who knows where GSX is taking us, but...
Please set parking brakes. Unlocking gear.
Just ignore that big crash.
Tow truck disconnected. Bypass pin removed. Left is clear, right is clear.
And now? Oh, you're just driving through us, that's fine. Okay, start a cutout.
You're good to go. Contact the tower for clearance.
Right, I think we are good to go. We just need to set the flaps. We'll click this guy in, and we'll turn this guy on, and we'll set for takeoff. November Alpha November, ready for taxi.
Alpha 2 November, Alpha November, taxi holding point runway 10 at pilot's discretion.
Taxi holding point runway 10, pilot's discretion. November Alpha November. Okay, we're gonna enter the runway, turn left, backtrack. November Alpha November, runway 10, ready for departure.
Alpha 2 November, Alpha November, backtrack runway 10. Call when ready for departure.
Backtrack runway 10, call you back. Alpha 2 November, Alpha November. Okay, landing lights, strobe lights. Okay, fairly long taxi back. Okay, so we're gonna line up at the end of the runway. We'll double check that our heading selector is correct. Flaps are set, lights are done, transponder is done, TMS is set, and temperature is set, so we advance the throttles until the TMS takes over. Rotate is 139. Then we'll climb out around 144. Accelerate, bring the gear and flaps up on schedule. And then we accelerate to 210. We'll IS hold 210 up to 10,000 feet. And then from there, we'll speed up to 250 and hold that until our cruise altitude. We're cleared to flight level 090 so far, and it'll be vectors for the departure to Victoria Falls VOR 116.7. That's set on nav 1. And currently showing 16.2 miles. November Alpha November, runway 10, ready for departure. November Alpha November, runway 10, ready for departure.
Alpha 2 November, Alpha November, Livingstone Tower, fly heading 100, runway 10, cleared for takeoff.
Clear for takeoff, runway 10, November Alpha November. Okay, TMS has the throttles. Airspeed's alive. There's 100 knots. Okay, gear coming up.
Alpha 2 November, Alpha November, contact Livingstone, departure 124.4.
124.4, November Alpha November, good day. Flaps coming up. Departure, good morning. Alpha 2 November, Alpha November, passing 4,500 feet, climbing flight level 090.
Alpha 2 November, Alpha November, Livingstone departure, good morning, identified, climb flight level 150.
Climb flight level 150, November Alpha November. Okay, autopilot on. Let's go IS hold. Dial this up to 15.
Alpha 2 November, Alpha November, turn right heading 200.
Right heading 200, November Alpha November. Okay, climb power. Right heading 200. Okay, engine air on, APU air off, APU off. That's fine. Runway exit lights off. Logo lights off. Oh wow, that's bad. I forgot to turn these on. And this off, that off. Okay, climbing out 1,500 feet a minute. We're on heading 200.
Alpha to Alpha November, cleared direct Victoria Falls. Resume all navigation.
Direct Victoria Falls, November, Alpha November. Okay, there is Victoria Falls itself, not the airport, the actual falls. Okay, it's flight level 090. We're into the flight levels now. Let's go and set standard. Eight miles from Victoria Falls. There's Victoria Falls Airport just in front of us. I left the weather radar on standby because we don't really need it. This doesn't appear to do anything, does it? I'm missing something. Why is this not functioning at all?
Alpha 2 November, Alpha November, contact Harari Reader 131.5.
131.5, November, Alpha November, good day. Radar, good morning. Alpha 2 November, Alpha November, passing flight level 130, climbing flight level 150. I suppose I could have switched the landing lights off already.
Harari Radar, good morning. Identified, climb flight level 300.
Climb flight level 300, November, Alpha November. That's interesting. I didn't think we were going to 300. I thought we were going to 29. Oh, 29 then 300. Okay, that's why. Right, now we need to speed up to 250 knots. We could have done it a bit earlier, but it's not the end of the world. Okay, 71 miles to the next waypoint, which is Bonnell. Okay, just watching that speed for 250. Flight level 160. There's 250 knots. IS hold. Now, is there like a brightness control or something for this that's turned all the way down? Doesn't seem like it. Huh, that's interesting. Okay, just past flight level 190.
Link 100 Bravo, turn right, heading 1905, actors for the approach. Turn right, heading 1905, link 100 Bravo. Link 100 Bravo, contact Harare information, approach 125.1. Contact Harare information, approach 125.1, link 100 Bravo.
Okay, so it looks like we will have 2 hours and 4 minutes in the air and an hour, just under 2 hours of fuel left over once we arrive at Mashushu. So that's all looking good. it's going to be a bit of a slow drag up to flight level 300. Beautiful early morning. Okay, so we're in Zim airspace now. So Zimbabwe, Botswana, Zambia, and then South Africa down here. So we're going to be in Zim for a couple of minutes, well actually until Bonal, and then we're back in Botswana, and we'll cruise over Botswana, then over South Africa, and we'll cross into Lesotho's airspace basically as we're on a final approach.
SAP 750, good morning, flight level 370.
SAP 750, Harari radar, identified.
Okay, flight level 230, and we're climbing at about 800 feet a minute.
Good morning, flight level 360. Link 161, Harari radar.
Another ailing. Yeah, that was me bumping the throttles. Okay, while we're climbing slowly, let's have a look at the weather at Mashushu. Temperature 3 degrees, nice and cold. Winds 354 at 3. QNH 1025. It is partly cloudy with some scattered clouds at 28,000 feet. Cool. We should have no issues making it in then. Okay, let's have a look here. So where are we? That's Rand. So Mashushu is here. Okay, so there is 117.2. I'm going to put that in here so long. Okay, coming up to 25,000. Flight level 250. We are 11.5 miles now from Bonnell. Then it's 14.1 miles to Epsig. As we're climbing it and everything becomes more efficient, this reserve fuel is actually going up. We were 150, we're now 227. Okay, let's have a look at Beyond ATC's radar out of curiosity and see what's happening in this area. Okay, so only a couple of aircrafts in radio range. So Link 100 Bravo is going to FERG. I can't remember the name of that. Is it just Harare? I think it is actually. 161 is going back to Joburg from FLKK, which is Lusaka. Link 112 is going to Joburg from Bulawayo. That's wrong, going from, oh yes, from Joburg to Bulawayo, that's correct. And SAFE 750 is also going to, I think that is now Robert Mugabe, so it is Harare. And that's it for now. Okay, flight level 260, and we're at Bonnell now, turning slightly left for Epsig. Okay, 270. That must be the Okavango Delta there. It's weird that you don't really see it on here.
Link 112 passing flight level 369 descending to flight level 250.
Hang on, where's Mal?
Link 112, Harai radar identified. Alpha to November, Alpha November, contact Gaborone Control 126.
There's Mal there. Okay, so it's not. The Delta's here. Oh, it's Makgadikgadi Pan. So it's the salt pans.
Alpha to November.
That makes sense.
November, contact
Oh,
Gaborone
whoops.
Control 126.1. Have a good morning.
126.1. Alpha 2 November, Alpha November. Thank you. 126.1. Cabin control, good morning. Alpha 2 November, Alpha November, passing flight level 280, climbing flight level 300.
Alpha 2 November, cabin control identified.
Okay, we will eventually get to flight level 300. So I've actually been to the salt pans here, to Caribou Island. There, that's what I was looking for. I remember Nata as well. I mean, this was like 2007. I remember Orapa. So we must have gone around because we ended up going to Maun as well. Yeah, we camped at Caribou Island for 3 days. Maybe I should fly there. Like a Kodiak or something like that. That'll be fun. See what it looks like in the sim. Okay, 90 miles to next waypoint, which is Atuku. Over 3 hours in the tanks when we get to Mashushu now, according to our perf. Yo, we're climbing at like 200 feet a minute now. Okay, maybe we need to bleed off a little airspeed just to get us up to our cruising altitude, do that last 1,000 feet. Feet to go. Okay, alt arm is selected, so we should level off automatically at flight level 300. Okay, alt capture. Okay, so that target mode will hold the engines at that targeted EPR. I mean, is that an EPR? Oh no, it's actually TGT. So it's actually not target. I always read it as target, but it's actually turbine gas temperature. I just want to see that we don't bleed off speed at this setting. Okay, we're not losing speed, but we're not gaining anything. I think I'm going to bump it up to like 780. And then we'll be fine there. Okay, so current fuel on board 6.8 tons, and we're expecting to land with 4.7 tons in reserve. Cool, so we're going to cruise along for the next 2 hours or so. Actually, it'll be less, hour and a half maybe. And I'll check in with you later when we prep for our descent. Okay, welcome back. We're about to call for our descent. I've been pushing the speed close to that red line so that we can make our delivery in time. Otherwise, very chilled. We had quite a lot of turbulence along the way, actually. But it's smoothed out a bit now. So I just want to do another calculation here and just see. So let's go to our charts and go to arrival. So we're expecting to get 04, of which there aren't any arrivals except for the RNAV, which is a bit of an issue. But anyway, if we pick the RNAV, we need to descend to 8,000. So if we go here, we sync that, we sync that.
Descent flight level 130.
Descent flight level 130, link 722.
Okay, top of descent at 70, we'll add 10 to that, so let's say like 80 miles, and we're 88 now. Jasper control Alpha 2 November ready for descent.
Alpha 2 November, expect runway 04.
Expect runway 04 November. You can see we're wobbling a bit again.
Alpha November, contact Maseru approach 120.7.
120.7 November. See, that's weird. I think Beyond ATC has got this wrong because it hands us over to the approach already, and we haven't even started descending yet.
722, contact Johannesburg approach 125.8.
Contact Johannesburg approach 125 decimal.
Approach, good morning, Alpha 2 November, flight level 300.
Alpha 2 November, Maseru approach. Expect radar vectors for RNAV approach runway 04.
Expect radar vectors for the RNAV runway 04 November.
Alpha 2 November, turn right heading 015, vectors for the approach. Expect further clearance in about 622 miles.
Right heading 015 November in 622 miles. Nah, something's broken. Okay, I'm just gonna start my descent to 8,000 and we'll see what Beyond ATC wants to do, because it's definitely confused. Okay, 75 miles now, so we're fine. Let's go IS hold, and we'll go descent on the TMS and bring the throttles back. And we'll do flaps 24 for landing. Right, now last time I struggled to find the thing that you have to set to 24. I think it's this. No, it's not. Unless I'm thinking of the wrong thing, but I swear there was a switch that you would set to say that we're landing flaps 24. Maybe I'm thinking of the wrong thing. Okay, anyway, that's set. Okay, QNH there's 1024. So that's about there. See, we can't accept the RNAV really. Why did I just click on that? Here. There's no VLR approach, so we're gonna have to ask for a visual. Alpha 2 November, Alpha November, request approach change, visual runway 04, please.
Alpha 2 November, Alpha November, airport is not visual conditions. Unable.
What? November, Alpha November, we are unable to accept an RNAV approach.
Alpha 2 November, Alpha November, you're already assigned on nav approach runway 04. Unable.
Right. Okay, well, I guess we're just gonna ditch beyond ATC then, and we'll do this visually, I suppose. Oh no, what we need is... I'm an absolute genius. Okay, we want to come from 2-1 Papa, so that's 3. So then I guess we go... Where are we going? We need to go direct to 2-1 Papa, which is what we are doing. Okay, perfect. Okay, I'm just bringing in some power so that we don't descend so fast. Okay, so 2-1 Papa at or above 12,000. Jeez, we're still 53 miles away from it. We descended really quickly. Okay, 2-1 Papa at or above 12,000. And then 8,000 at 194 November. down to 7,000 at 5 nautical miles. And then we'll call it 6,000 for our minimums. And that radio is 644. Okay, Q&H from Mashushu 1026. November Alpha November, are you able to give us the weather at our destination, please? I want to see what it'll say.
Alpha 2 November Alpha November, Msheshana International QFE 1013. Weather information is limited. Please check ATIS for updates.
Great. Okay, 36 miles now. Okay, missed approach. We climb to 10,000. 7,500. Left turn back to the VOR. Minimum temperature -5. That's interesting. I've never seen that before. It's 13,000 feet. Okay, so that city there, that is actually Maseru. Okay, 18 miles, and then we start our left-hand turn to join the RNAV. And November, Alpha November, request direct to Golf 221 Papa, please.
Alpha 2 November, Alpha November, unable direct at this time.
Whatever. So what we're gonna do, Mashushu Tower 118.5, which we already have, and then 121.7 for ground, so we already have those. We'll switch over to tower shortly once we're on the approach. Okay, 13 miles to go, then we start our turn, and then we descend to 9,000. Oh, why are we nosediving? Okay, 10 miles. Oh, my bad. 194 November. Oh, where is 194 Hotel? Okay, yes, it's 9,100, then 8,000. Okay, so we can put this 9-1. Okay, 7 miles. I'm going to start slowing down as well. Doesn't seem to be speed restrictions on here, but it will be better if we are a bit slower. It'll just be easier for it to follow. And we need to be below 250 at 10,000 feet anyway, which is going to come up pretty quickly. Okay, 4.5 miles. Alright, there's our left-hand turn. Okay, 1026. I'm going to dial this all the way down to 8. Okay, a little bit of speed brakes. We need to slow down here. Landing lights on. Okay, minimums we're going to say 6,000. says 10,000. We were supposed to be 9,100 here, so we're a little high. That's why I've got the speed brakes in. Airport's in sight. Maseru Tower, good morning. Alpha 2 November, Alpha November. Runway 04. I should have said RNAV 04.
Alpha November, Maseru Tower, runway 04, clear to land.
Land runway 04, November, Alpha November. Okay, let's start getting the flaps in. We'll set our speed for flap 24, which gives us 137. Gears coming down. Flaps 18 set, speed brake retracted. Okay, flaps 24 set. Okay, I have control. Okay, gear, flaps, lights, clear to land, runways in sight. We just need to line up a little better. That approach didn't put us exactly on the runway heading, but that's okay, we got this. Okay, we are a little low, but we haven't reached minimums yet. Okay, I've got quite a bit of power in to maintain this altitude, so we're going to need to pull that back when we start pitching down. Oh, that is some wind for sure.
Plus 100. Minimums.
Okay, there's minimums. Runways in sight. We're one white, 3 red.
500.
Okay, there's 2 white, 2 red. Come back a bit on the power. Just keep an eye on that speed. It is definitely there's some texture in the air for sure. Okay, let's try and get it on that center line because that's what I've been struggling with lately.
Too low, flaps.
Oh, it is bumpy.
50. 40. 30, too low, flat, 20. 10.
Okay, it floated that quite a bit,
Nice landing,
but at least
pilot.
I got it back into the center.
Taxi to parking and shut down your engine.
Wonder why my JustFlight co-pilot has stopped talking.
Alpha 2 November, Alpha November. Exit right at Alpha.
Right on Alpha. Alpha 2 November, Alpha November. Okay, speed brakes, flaps. So interesting that the nose came back up again after I derotated. I'm quite interested to see our brake temperature after that. $235, okay, not crazy. What's interesting to think is that with all this high terrain around you, I mean, this airport is at a high elevation, but it's actually lower than Johannesburg. Johannesburg is 5,550. We're 5,320. The official altitude from Active Sky is 5,351. But it feels way higher because you're in the mountains here. Okay, they wanted us to go on to Alpha. Okay, so skip one and then left. So this will be the one that we skip, I guess. Okay, there comes Alpha up ahead. Okay, brakes are cooling.
Alpha 2 November, Alpha November. Contact ground 121.7.
121.7. November Alpha November, good day. Okay, landing lights off. Strobe lights off. And transponder to standby. And then onto 1.7. Ground, good morning, Alpha 2, November, Alpha November. On taxiway Alpha, request taxi to assigned cargo ramp, please.
Alpha 2 November, Alpha November, taxi to ramp 18 via Alpha Bravo Charlie.
Taxi to ramp 18 via Alpha Bravo Charlie. November, Alpha November. Okay, Alpha Bravo Charlie. Okay, so this is Bravo, and then first left on Charlie takes us to the cargo apron. Right, this looks like it could be interesting. So I guess we park slightly at an angle. Nose right. Because that's where the pushback tug is. Where is the marshaller? I think the marshal is in the building. Okay, parking brake set. That's on. We'll get the generators off.
Transporter. Cargo unloading in progress. Stand by, pilot.
Right, there we are. Let's do GSX.
Transporter, your deadline will expire in 5 minutes. Hurry up. Transporter, another cargo mission completed. Thanks, and see you soon. Ready for engine start.
Okay, Okay, I don't know what I just did, but... oh well, whatever. That's fine, that's done. Okay, Neofly is happy. Okay, brakes are still cooling, that's fine. Okay, then we can shut down the APU and switch off the batteries. And there we are, safely arrived at Mashushu. Okay, once again, I absolutely love the BAE 146 and the RJs. So again, the next couple of episodes for the Neofly series are going to be in this aircraft. But another cool flight in the 146. Bit of a floated landing. Beyond ATC got a bit confused, but other than that, we arrived on time and made about 290,000 monies in Neofly for that. So that's going to bring us to the end of today's Neofly episode. As always, if you made it this far, thank you so much for watching. I really do appreciate it. If you did enjoy it, if you want to follow along, you know what to do down below, and hopefully I see you in the next one.